let's welcome you to our Abuja Center this morning. Coming a bit late, I must say that to you, and let's apologize. A bright morning in Abuja here. It rained last night, and so it's a bright but cool morning in the Federal Capital Territory, and my name is Nwaboze Njoko. Now, Nigeria has so many ungoverned development areas. And why did I say ungoverned development areas? Parts of the country that are not experiencing actual development. Not by virtue of government inactivity, but by virtue of the paucity of economic activity. And such areas have problems, population problems, in the sense that naturally people will move from such development of ungoverned areas into where there are economic activities. Today, they say Lagos is bustling with activity. And that is because it is an economically governed area. Once upon a time in this country, the fastest growing region in Nigeria was Eastern Nigeria. What there is part of South-South and the whole of Southeast, growing at more than 9%. That was a world record. But today, when you begin to denominate Nigeria's development ungoverned areas, you point at the Southeast. And with that has come a number of challenges. Movement of population out, abandonment of once thriving cities. You know, in the United States, there are cities that they say are dying. If you go to the Southeast, a number of cities are dying. And so some people got together, not the government, some private sector initiative got together and said, to be able to reinvent that growth, there has to be a new momentum. And that will also create population stability, address insecurity at the larger national level. The Southeast Economic Renaissance is our point of conversation this morning. What are the steps towards achieving that objective? Who are taking this initiative? What is the ultimate objective? What are their action steps? And so this morning I have in the studio Dr. Ifedi Okwenna, who's on my right. Dr. Ifedi Okwenna is the Executive Secretary of this think tank, the Southeast Business and Investment Summit Group. Dr. Okwenna, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Thank you, viewers.
And on my left, pardon me, because you know sometimes when beautiful women are around you, you seem to falter. You know, you should not falter. I should be, especially if that woman is a lawyer. So let me please be clear about who the person is. Can I put on my glasses? Thank you very much. And on my left, I have Barrister Ujunwa Rita Ezani. She is the secretary of the National Organizing Committee of this group, Southeast Business and Investment Summit Group. Barrister Ujunwa, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
I should have denominated you at an intellectual level, but don't mind me. You know, men, they want to see the beauty first, but please, I'm talking with you purely on an intellectual level.
That's all right.
Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, viewers.
This morning, I understand that your group is holding the second in a series of summits. The first summit took place last year, 2024. There is another summit coming up this year. But before we get into that summit, it's interesting to ask, what is this Southeast Business and Investment Summit Group? What does it do?
Thank you very much. Thank you, viewers, once again. The Southeast Business and Investment Summit Group is a body of Southeast businessmen and investors who felt that this is the time for us to take our destiny in our own hands and then to be able to reinvent and remake Southeast as an economic powerhouse. It's always clear that you said it at your intro that the Southeast was once the fastest growing, that Eastern Nigeria was once the fastest growing part of the world, and then we cannot say the same thing today. We were able to get to that level until the outbreak of the Civil War, and then after the Civil War we managed to throttle, and then it was not that easy, but that resilience, and our people made them to recover from the war very fast at the rate nobody could have imagined. But after recovery, we found that we were not accelerating the way we should. We were not getting to where we were before the war, caused by mainly economic turnaround. We were going backward, regression, and that caused migration. Our people left our homeland, looking for greener pasture, in parentheses, because actually the indices of development was not favoring us. Before the war, the eastern and western economic corridors were competing, but after the war, the western corridor took off and the eastern corridor regressed. That's why everything started going to Lagos, and Lagos has its Port Harcourt, and the eastern has its regressed, and then it affected the federal projects were no longer sited in the east the way it was, and there is the atomizations of subnationals. Then it was an Eastern Nigeria. Eastern Nigeria was a big economic bloc. Today we have that Eastern Nigeria today is about 9 states, or 9 states. Just remove Delta and Edo. The other Southeast, South states were part of the Eastern Bloc. And then there used to be one state governed by probably a premier and about 5-10 regional ministers or commissioners, and then building a very strong variety economy. But with the creation of states, because the subnationals continuously become smaller, and then the necessary common services were not even shared. Most of these people, every state want to strive to be independent and pride themselves to be independent. And then the process, we started eating cake instead of baking cake. And then the system of economic resource control, as it was so it seems, favors the federal and not the state. So little fund was coming to the states, and then they succeed in paying all the salaries. And what do you expect the industrials and the engineers Southeast people? They migrate to area of action. Most went to Lagos and the Southwest, and some others went to the North, because more states were coming in the North. The industry took them to go and take care of opportunities in that place. A lot more others migrated to the diaspora. That side is to Americas, Europe, and the Asian countries, and then Southeast nosedived. What are we doing? SEBI's Southeast Business and Investment Summit Group said, no, we cannot continue, because if you leave vacancy, there's no nation doesn't abhor a vacuum. The miscreants are taking over. You can imagine the people who give us controls our states in the Southeast are those who are supposed to follow naturally. They are not leading. So we felt that politics is not the answer. What is the answer is economic re-engineering and economic development. We want to come back to massively invest once again in the economy of the South, both infrastructure, both businesses. We identify area of comparative advantage, business. This is where we have advantage over others. We want to use this area of comparative advantage to redevelop the Southeast. And when we do that, it will be better for the Southeast and it will be better for Nigeria, because a lot economic input we have added into it. We are targeting to return back to where we were pre-war time.
Well, targeting to return to where we were before the Civil War, that's a very tall order. There has been some population injury, I must say that, but I do not want to dwell on that. Let us take off from your last effort. The last effort, have you taken a record? Have you looked at how far you went in the last summit?
Yeah, we started last year. Last year was an introductory kind of summit. We brought the best of the Southeast from home and abroad. From the WTOD, Jingozi Okonjo-Iweala, to the chairman, the Bio Furniture, Abogidi himself, his Igwen Namika Shevan, CFR, and so many to our own Mazi Samo Huabuma, so many of great industrialists and great business entrepreneurs converge on Enugu. And then we took decision to once again not to lament again, and not to cry for marginalization, but to be able to use what we have to get where we want to be. So that was where we started, and so last year was more of an introductory statements. And having done that, we set up committees, and then each committee have gone to work. We have a project committee that have come with worked on 8 thematic areas and generated bankable projects that we felt that can, when we inject it in the South, it will make some meaning, especially in the area of agriculture, including ranching, because we know that apart from Lagos, we're the largest consumer of beef. So we felt that we must at least give ourselves enough beef, and then to give to outsiders. Then regenerate agro potentials, because up to this moment, the effort of Emma Opara in the eastern Nigeria is still operating in the area of agriculture. Then we look at MSME, we are the hub of medium, micro, medium, small scale industries, MSME. And we find that we originated the Eba Boy, the apprenticeship scheme. That is,
by the way, Anambra State had done something wonderful and signed it into law.
Yes. So we've done that. We are the owners of that. The United Nations and the Harvard School of Business have adopted it as fastest system for poverty alleviation. But again, unfortunately, we are losing out. There is no accelerator. People are no longer going for apprenticeship system. We cannot afford to do that. So we must reinvent it by putting accelerator programs, whereby when you learn these businesses, you get support to accelerate your business. These are some of the things we are looking for. Then we are looking at fintech. We find that a lot of we have slush funds in the Southeast. People on bankable money here and there in Aba, in Onitsha, people still carry money in Ghana must go because they don't have the trust in the banking system. We want them to have their own, and then through that system be able to re-engineer and remake their businesses, support their business, accelerate their businesses. Then we are looking at the area of energy. Energy is the greatest challenge we have in the Southeast. The megawatts of energy supplied to us is very meager, and the gas is not piped through our area. So we are looking at how we can think of putting some energy packages in the comprehensive energy package in the Southeast. Then we look at security. It's very important for us, and we believe that while we are charting government will do something, we are encouraging government to do something, but we as the private sector want to bring ideas, making it business-like. You can make money from protecting the citizens. So that's some of the things we are looking at. Then there are some area of sports. You see, what gave an Igbo man the leverage after the Civil War was sports. We went to that National Sports Festival 1973, and stamp authorities, those who lost the war, came to win in sports. Then Rangers International took off and then won the first Nigerian club to win African Cup. So, but we are losing out again to Delta, Edo, and some other states, more recently Bayelsa. So we say no, Southeast must come back. I thank God Enugu State is going to host the National Sports Festival. That's where we're heading to. And by the time we took Enugu host that sports, Southeast will come back to control the sport. Then creative art. We started Nollywood. Today, Nollywood is not the way it was planned to be. We want to re-own it again and be able to make it one of the lowest hanging fruits. So on the creative industry, we are putting energy there, so that, because to us, music and art are one of the fastest ways you can engage our youths. So basically, these areas are the areas we are putting much emphasis. We call it low hanging fruits. By the time we finish it, we know where we get to be. We give ourselves a 5 years benchmark, so that after 5 years, we look at where we have gone to. This year's summit, the 2.0, is where we are presenting this project.
I'm going to come to that point, because that's a critical thing. You know that I was at an event at which you spoke so passionately about the impact of young people seeking greener pastures in other areas, and the kind of experiences they have that are really heartbreaking. In other words, this situation of poor economy in the Southeast has caused immigration, and that immigration is having some consequence on our young people. And therefore, if the Southeast is remade,
Yes.
you could begin to address some of those problems. I think it's necessary for us to understand what is the consequence of a Southeast economic bloc that is not working. Can you address us on that?
Thank you, and thank you, viewers. I would say the Southeast economic and business situation that is not working is really bad. Is really bad, because we are busy people. A Southeasterner, an Igbo man, is energetic, very energetic, ready, always proactive to engage in activities. But it's just by nature, and that is well known about us, about a Southeasterner, an Igbo man, anywhere, both locally and internationally. So since there are no activities, legitimate activities, especially in terms of economic activities, business activities that are operating in the Southeast, that drive, that natural drive that we have, that is in our children, in our boys, in our sisters and brothers, in our relatives, that drive, you can't take it away. It's natural. So since there are no engagements there, like the executive secretary said, it gave result to migration from that space. And that migration has not been all that palatable to our people. First of all, some start migrating to different locations to get engaged economically, because an Igbo man is always an economic person, a business person that wants to, get this, put it this way, and realize some profit and all that. It's natural. So it caused migration to different locations, and when they get there, they start doing what they know how to do best. In different locations in the country, within Nigeria, outside Nigeria. And you find out that by the time they start investing, doing what they know how to do best, and start progressing and start investing there, because there is a saying in Igbo adage that says that Ebonye become awaj. So as they're making progress, they're investing there. But sometimes, when you look back home, nothing is happening there. They keep on investing in these locations, and they find out that when one wants to go back, when you look back home, you find out that it's like nothing is happening in your place of origin, and it's a concern. It becomes a concern to us, a concern to a lot of Southeasterners. But many people, when they feel concerned, is like, there's nothing I can do. They move on with the same activities. Then some of our youths, because of that energetic nature in them, also try to find a space again, a location where to go and thrive in businesses, in economic activities and all that. And in the process, like I spoke that day, in the process of trying to get to those destinations where things are happening, where they believe they can get their greener pasture, they encounter a lot of pathetic experiences, ugly experiences, which I may not like to
let us, because when we get into those experiences,
yes,
where our hosts, they call them hosts, our hosts, we feel that we are ungrateful. I don't think that's what we want to discuss.
No.
We want to move forward.
Yes.
Now, moving forward, let me just, because I have a reason for interjecting. There are necessary action steps you want to take.
Yes.
Towards this year's summit. And I told you, wait, I'll come to this year's summit.
Yeah.
Doc, you said the 2024 summit was introductory statement. We have looked at this situation. We do not think that government should be saddled with the entire responsibility. The private sector, private individuals have a role to play in this redemptive journey. That was the first statement.
Yeah.
What is the second statement? Because have a summit again this year in Enugu.
Yeah.
What is the second statement?
Yeah, of course, the second statement this year is that we want to take action. It's no longer, like I said, we'll stop blaming ourselves. We'll stop lamenting. No more lamentation. We must utilize what we have to achieve, to get to where we want to be. Where we are today is not good. Where we were yesterday was wonderful. Where we are today, not good. But where we want to be is very bright. I've never seen the Southeasterners so mobilized as they are getting now. Everybody is charged. Everybody, with events in Nigeria, in different parts of Nigeria and in different parts of the world, has started making them to ask questions. Is there anything wrong with us? Are we really real? Because you look at it from the point of view, our environment is the best in Nigeria. Natural rainforest, permanent and constant temperature. We don't have extremes of temperature. The landscape is flat. The land is fertile. The greenery is wonderful. And suddenly we leave these places. And we go to these to savanna areas, and we go to swampy areas. We start entering the Atlantic Oceans and the Lagos Lagoon and covering them and building mansions, and then living our wonderful land. Is there anything wrong with us? Business is such that where this producer is, the buyer goes look for him. But how do we then have these businesses in the East and then carry it and start looking for people who buy? Do you know that of the imports goods that come into Lagos port, 64% end in the Southeast? This the statistics for NIWA.
Yes.
64% of the containers offloaded in Lagos end up in the Southeast. Then the what going into Port Harcourt, 99% enter Aba on a chart. That means that there's a lot of activities. All we want to do is that let's put the infrastructure, let's put production lines so that we won't be concentrating on trade alone. We want to be producing, because when we produce, we create job, we create the economy, we make our place a destination. This year, the level we are going, like you say, the second assessment, let's put something down. And that's why we package these projects. Now we are setting JVs, joint venture partners between these sectors. The government is becoming wonderful, because they are now, you can't do without government, no doubt. So they are willing and ready to partner now with us by providing the enablement, the enabling environment for these businesses to thrive. The challenges of the last few years is about being corrected, because if you talk, we are close to our pride investors, like people like Inosim, people like Chikasim, people like Master Energy, who have been wonderful investing in the Southeast despite all these conditions. They will tell you the experience. You shed tears for them. Now, with this kind of thing we're doing, all of us are now saying, how do we make this environment enabling? And the ease of doing business is now gradually changing. I thank God for some governors of the Southeast who are doing wonderful. Abia is wonderful. Enugu is wonderful. Anambra is coming strong. Imo and Ebonyi, they are not lagging behind. So partnering together, we are looking forward that we are taking the journey, the second step of moving forward. We are launching a 50 billion MSME fund.
Just for medium and
small scale business, yes. That project is to re-energize that sector. If you re-energize that sector, it's like activity will start picking up once again, because people who learn one business or the other but they can't start take off can leverage from this fund. It's a very comprehensive program to re-energize and accelerate that sector. Now, when you are doing that, there will be large economic activities, and I tell you, it's a non-kinetic way for fighting insecurity. It's a chicken and egg thing. People will say, oh, which one comes first, which one follows. I tell people that when you energize the economy, the security condition of any place increases, it improves. So that is the way we are seeing it. While we put this fund, we are setting up an IDC center, Industrial Development Center. Industrial Development Center, in the sense that there are a lot of boys who learn one art or the other, one trade or the other, one production line or the other, but they don't have equipment. I remember as a commissioner then, we had an incubation center built by federal government, which my state government acquired, and then we developed it, and it became a wonderful place where people with ideas enter every morning, buy your materials, and you enter that place. You can produce whatever. It was then in Nnewi. I don't know whether it still exists there, but then you can see young boys doing motorcycle spare parts, motor spare parts inside our IDC. So we want to replicate this. This time around, we're looking at somewhere in Aba, where in Asia, where these young men are. They have wonderful ideas. In Aba, for instance, if you put an IDC center, have tailoring equipments for massive garment production. Now, I discussed with one of our investors a few days ago. He said, with this IDC center in Aba, he's going to put a textile factory in Aba to supply this IDC with materials. Now, at that IDC center, you wake up in the morning as a young man, you get to the IDC gate and pay 1,000 naira access fee. You enter, you use every machine. You have to sew your clothes, sew everything, and then sell. And because of the fintech aspect we are putting up, The fintech, a microfinance will be situated there to give credit facility to these young boys to buy materials. You buy that materials, you enter there, you sow, you will sell to the export cluster, those who want to buy to export. The same thing with shoes. Aba is known for shoes. So we are looking forward to converting these boys into clusters to massively produce these shoes, and they become made in Aba, no longer made in Italy or made in Spain. We'll be proud of made in Aba because the qualities are high, are going to be high. We're going to put quality assurance mechanism in the IDC center so that whatever comes from that center is definitely going to match whatever you get in Spain, in Italy or Brazil. So these are the kind of ideas we want to use to energize the youths of the Southeast to start thinking, give them hope once again. Our president said renewed hope. Yeah, we are renewing their hope in the system. It will stop the migration. When somebody migrates to Saudi Arabia or to Libya, he doesn't know what he's going there to do, and he has a better facility in Aba or in Onitsha, he will stay in Onitsha. I mean, why was the sense of going to look for 3, 4, 5 million to get visa when you can use that to use money, and 1 month you make more than that 1 million in Aba IDC. So these are the concepts we are coming with to energize the system.
Now, I'm coming to you presently because these youths who move out, some of them hear stories.
Exactly.
That the pasture there is green.
Greener.
They have not seen them, and they just go. What steps are you doing? Are you taking rather to mobilize our youth, to mobilize for this event, so that it's not a matter of what we're just speaking on television now?
Yes. Yes.
Because unless they hear and understand, they can't key in. How are you mobilizing our people to buy into this thought? Doc, I'm still coming back to you because along the line you said a number of bankable. I'm going to come back to that. Mobilization. What are you telling them? What are you doing to get them to buy into this?
Thank you very much for that question. In order to get our people aware of the strategies that Southeast Business and Investment Summit Group is putting in place in the Southeast space, we had last year organized a summit called Southeast Business and Investment Summit, where people gather together, investors, businessmen and women gather together and deliberate on this, on the way forward, on the renaissance of economic renaissance in the Southeast. Excuse me. Then this year, in a wider range, we are organizing another summit in Enugu on the 22nd from 26th to 28th of November, where more light will be thrown and more strategies will be organized on how to make the economy in the Southeast busy. Then, for the awareness, that summit is a platform for the awareness of what we are putting together there, so that our youths, investors, and the rest of them will catch on. We're catching into that. Apart from the summit that is coming up on the 26th and to 28th, we're organizing what we call roadshow. Roadshows. We call it roadshows because it's going to take place in 7 cities across the country. to mobilize these youths, mobilize our women, mobilize investors, businessmen and women that are interested. In fact, they should be interested, because we have said it, that we need to build our place. It doesn't stop us from building other outside, but you build your place and also build other place. So the process of mobilizing the youth for this awareness is through the roadshow, and which we call roadshow stroke town hall meeting. The first one will be coming up. The roadshows will be taking place in 7 cities: in Abuja, in Lagos, in Aba, Abia State, in Owerri, Imo State, in Onitsha, Anambra State, then in Abakaliki, Abia State, Ebonyi State, sorry, then finally in Enugu State. In this, the Abuja one will be coming up on the 17th, which is just few days from now, 17th of this October, just few days now, at Top Rank Hotel in Jabi. The process of mobilizing mobilizing our youth is through this town hall meeting, through roadshows, and we are contacting all the Southeast groups that are in the FCT, the market associations, the Igbo cultural groups, the women organizations, the youth organizations, like we have the town association, town union associations in Abuja. We have contacted all of them, and there is a Ohaneze group again. We've contacted all of them, both the Apex body and the group segment of the organization. We've already also talking with other subgroups here and there, to make sure that nobody is left behind and nobody is unaware of what is taking place in the Southeast.
Okay, Doc, this is not just a mass movement, but it's supposed to be investor driven.
Yes.
It is not a carnival, it's investor, it is an economic activity driven by investor interest. Along the line, you used one expression, bankable projects.
Yeah.
It's necessary for us to understand. At the Enugu Summit, you're talking about bankable. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, thank you very much. Definitely, you don't develop by emotion. I want to build a ranch. How do you build a ranch? So we notice that most of the time we arrive at a summit and people deliver wonderful papers and paint a kind of picture of an Eldorado. No, we say no. This time around we must go to the nitty-gritty. If we say, okay, this project is where we want to be, we now say, okay, we set up people to study on that project. The experts went to the field, consider the site-its environment, and look at the challenges and prospects of each of these businesses, and then design this project, put figures. What makes it bankable is that you've seen the viability and feasibility of those projects, and the return on investment, break-even point of those projects. These are all designed so that if you come to the summit as an investor, you say, okay, I want to set up a meat processing factory. This is a project. You take the project, you look into it, and say, if this project is sited in Enugu, this is what it will cost me, and this is the capacity. This is how many the tons of meat we can be producing, and this is the market. This is the market. This is the environment that will support you. This is the possible sales. and this is how much you need to start. This is the expanse of land you need to start. This is the amount of money you need to start. These are possible profit you make in the first year, in the second year. When is the break-even point of that business? So that if you are putting your extra amount of money, you'll be able to know when you are making your profit will start coming up. And because the banking people are coming, both the development banks and the commercial banks are all coming, they will be able to engage the banks and say, I'm interested in this, are you going to? And we are looking at the point of investment. The kind of investment we're looking to start is not basically where Okeke and Sons will come and open his small business there. No, we are thinking of how do we bring investors coming together, even if you are not staying in, because like she said, we are not asking you not to stay where you are. So we are asking you just put a percentage of whatever you have in the Southeast. If all of us put 30% of what we have in the Southeast, will be a bloom. It will be very fast in growing again once again. So now we are asking people to form JVs, joint ventures, and we expect that a number of joint ventures will be signed at that summit, whereby people will say, okay, XYZ companies are coming together to set up a power plant to generate power that will be evacuated to a certain area. The QRJ is interested in producing security equipments that could be used either in monitoring or gathered or exported everywhere. That QRJ will be able to do this on say hospital, because part of what we are looking for is in health. We notice that a lot of our hospitals are already having some challenges. We want to pick 5 hospitals per state, and commercialize that hospital, networking with fintech system, and get the medical experts to be able to use as a case study that once you enter any of these hospitals, if it's not your time to die, you will survive. You will not die. So these are the kind of things we are looking at. So a lot of people are interested in getting the medical lab equipments and trying to commercialize them and make profit out of it. A lot are interested in putting a medical emergency system into the system, so that anywhere you are, at any time of the day, you make a call, there's an emergency system that will save that person. From that point, in the next 5-10 minutes, somebody has arrived to pick that person to a nearby hospital. But while you are in the ambulance, you're already getting treated. A lot of people are equally interested in community health insurance, so that no person is denied of taking adequate Medicare on the condition of pocket, that you don't have money. A lot of people are willing to put small change in the community health insurance that will be available for whoever needs it. So that once you are subscribed to that community health insurance, if you are sick, there's a fund and to be taken care of. And those people are not doing it just for charity; they are doing it for business. So these are the concepts we have. So, and that's why these projects are bankable. We study them, we come out with their break-even points, and we ask investors, come listen to us, invest in it. There is a tech system group. We have over 100 tech founders coming for the summit. Those tech founders have ideas and to control various challenges we have in the Southeast. Now, when you have, a tech system now is that they work to provide solutions to challenges, and then we are now exposing to the venture capitals, so that they will demonstrate their pitch deck at the summit, and then we expect the venture capitals to invest into it. As a venture capital, you are investing not because you are coming to manage it yourself. No. After all, the money points of this world, the kudas of this world, were all invested. It was venture capitalists that put them on, and they are reaping their benefits. So these are things we are packaging, and these tech founders are there. They come with very, very necessary and needful pitch decks, which investors are going to look into it and buy into it. That's a sort of
when I still want to stay with you, I'll come to you presently. this is our conversation.
Yeah.
To what degree is the moneyed class buying into this? That is my question number one. I want you to join with, is it an exclusive opportunity for the Southeast moneyed class, venture capitalists, businessmen, or is it also open to other investors from other parts of the country and other parts of the world to come in to invest in South?
Okay.
Necessary.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is not exclusive to the Southeast. Investment is open. There are even foreigners that are showing interest. People from China, people from Thailand, people from Vietnam that are showing interest. So Southeast is home. You know, when my state used to be home for all.
Yes.
Forget the fact that we changed the light of the nation. You come into Southeast is one of the easiest place to navigate. Southeasterners welcome visitors more than they even welcome their own. So it's only when people who don't know think that because of the way they see us out there, they think we are hostile. We are not. We like competition. Come there, show us you. I know one business school in the South is the biggest business school in the South is owned by Yoruba man.
Yes.
So he's thriving. The man is even speaking Igbo more than me. So these are we are opening it up for people to come. That's why the summit is not exclusive to Indibo.
This is a business
It's a business conversation. And then the buy-in of the businesses, they are buying in. We have the Chikasins, we have the Innocents, we have the Ibetos, we have the Master Energies. They are queuing in. And as a matter of fact, we are celebrating them during the grand business dinner of the summit to be shared by Prince Atoeza, who is a #1 core businessman. He's going to share the occasion where we are celebrating all these investors and heavy businessmen from the Southeast. So that shows you they are coming in. They are looking forward to this occasion. All of them are making contacts that they want to be part of it. And we're giving more opportunities because do you know why we're celebrating them? They took the bold initiative when it was tough. I remember talking to Chikas and he told me his ordeals investing in Southeast, but that he doesn't regret it. So such person, you will celebrate him. You celebrate an Ibeto who has done everything. You will celebrate an Innocent who has taken us on the map with a vehicle manufacturer. So we are celebrating them. Why are we doing that? We want the young people to look at them. That's why I went to Terra Heptis the other day, the drone boys. I reminded them that they must invest in the Southeast too. And they are eager because they felt that, of course, SEBIS, Southeast Business and Investment Summit, is doing nice thing by approaching them and bringing all the businesses together so that we can remake that zone. I think it's clear that we're getting to somewhere there.
Would you?
Yes.
Let me express a fear.
Okay.
When the Jews began thinking of an Israeli nation, some countries in which their personnel were critical stakeholders feared that return, Zionism, was destruction of the economies where those were lived. Can you please speak to any thoughts that this is the Igbos' exodus, beginning a run on other parts of the country?
Thank you very much. Like the executive secretary rightly said, that these projects remaking the Southeast as economic powerhouse. That's our project. That it is not just for the Southeasterners. It is not. And because it is not just for the Southeasterners, even the Southeasterners, wherever they are, in any part of Nigeria, in any part of the world, We are not asking them to leave their locations, to leave their spaces. Rather, we are asking them to invest in the Southeast space. That is why, like the Executive Secretary said, that is why there are these bankable projects that has economic structure, where it's not a father and son, Okeke and son's business, or Peter and daughter's business. No, they are viable, wide structured business and investment structure that anybody from any part of the world can invest and be part of it. You have there are other business, Liver Brothers, PZ, a lot, millions.
Owners don't even live in Nigeria
at all. Millions are owners of that business, and they don't live in Nigeria to be part of it.
But you have raised something. Please allow me. You have raised something that I want Dr. Okona to address. She said it's not Okeke and Sons. It's not Peter and Daughters Limited. Permit me to express what I don't like. Our people, the Southeasterner, likes to struggle, make his money, and be in control of it. If you talk to him about the capital market, he doesn't buy into it. But the money for lifelong, forever investment is there. Are you talking to the stock exchange? Are you talking to the banks? Are you talking to our people? So that all these ideas, all these bankable projects will not stay on the table because Okeke and Sons only want to deal with it. They can also access funds for the capital market that can drive these things.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Actually, that's why that's where we are coming from. As a matter of fact, because the way it is, the established people may not return to Southeast, but we are asking them to invest in Southeast, and they are not going to invest 100% and own it 100%. It's not possible. And that's why we come out with this JV, where you say JV are working on the joint venture system. It must be you coming together and invest. Then you can put an investment fund, an equity fund you are throwing into it. Then the company on formation can then leverage funding, other capital funding, or overhead from different. Then gradually we'll grow. That will tell you we are working well. We put a 5-year benchmark. The first 5 years will be for struggling and making these companies to start cashing up. Then we are already talking that these people should divest your interest.
Not to worry. You won't begin with that.
No, we are not bringing with that. That's why we are saying we get to a point. It's a gradual thing. You now say diverse interest, and then if you already have 50% interest in a business, then diverse the other 50%. It will help you. That means that you will succeed after your exit. That leads us to another program we have, which is succession planning. Succession plan is important because most of our big businesses seem to die after the owner has died, and we cannot allow it to continue this way. Whereas big names that used to employ so many, because the implication, people don't know that the death of a business not only is a loss to the zone, for the whole zone, for the entire economy. If you look at the volume of business, Sawanko, Aaron Kochas, Sandi Ojuku, Ekene Dechuku, all of them have. If you put all the businesses, if they are still thriving today, the economy of Southeast will be bigger.
Okay, my colleagues are telling me that my time is up, but please, you have to address something before we leave here.
Okay.
The Abuja Pre-Summit Roadshow. Talk to me about it.
Yes, thank you very much. The Abuja Pre-Summit Roadshow is a project. We want to mobilize our people. You can't do it. Must be a movement. My people are not easy to convince. That is the reality. I'm an Igbo man, and we must tell ourselves the truth. They must see it. So we now decided that we are going to do a 7-city roadshow, starting with Abuja on Friday. They were bringing over 3,000 Southeast investors and businesses and the owners of businesses and traders into Abuja, and we're bringing experts in business to talk to us on possible ways of investing in the Southeast, and again on opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities, the free trade zones in the Southeast that want to come talk to them, come invest in the free trade zone. It wasn't only in the Lagos so good that you invest in free trade zone. We have free trade zone in the Southeast that are still empty, and nobody's investing. So we are now coming to talk to them. Come home, invest there, put some percentage of what you have. So that's what we are doing in Abuja. After the Abuja, we will do it in Lagos. Talk to our people in Lagos. Opportunities, prospects, profit margin you can make. You can make more. Some of them don't know that you make more profit in the Southeast than in Lagos. This is what we want to tell them. Then we'll do it in Onitsha market, Onitsha city, do it in Aba city for Abia, we do it in Enugu, we do it in Abakaliki, we do it in Owerri. These are 5 Southeast states, and from Lagos and Abuja. We're starting with Abuja this Friday, and we're employing every businessman or woman, whether Igbo or non-Igbo, come to Top Rank Hotel Galaxy in Otako, near Chida Hotel. You will talk to how do we remake Southeast, using the opportunities that are available in the Southeast, the openings that are available in Southeast. Some of them doesn't know what free trade zone is. Some of our people, they don't know that 1,001 reasons they can benefit from locating their factory and their manufacturing concern in a free trade zone. This is what we want to talk to them about. You don't need to go to my village and open one forest and start cutting grasses and cutting trees. It's already there. The infrastructure is already there in the Brown Business Park, in any economic city. These are all business free trade zones.
Okay, my producer is talking to me, said you are overshooting. I said with Dr. Ifeanyi Okwonna here, we might as well be. I think he lives this project, and all we need to do is to live with him and see how the Southeast economic environment can be remade, remaking the Southeast economy. That is what the Southeast Business and Investment Summit Group is doing. The summit comes up in Enugu in November 26 to 28, but here in Abuja, pre-summit event mobilizing the people takes place on the 17th. 17th is Friday.
This Friday.
This week. Well, in the past 1 hour, if not more indeed, I think I apologize to my colleagues that I'm overshooting. I've been talking with Dr. Ifeanyi Okwonna, the Executive Secretary of the Southeast Business and Investment Summit Group. Doc, thank you very much for coming to the
program. Thank you for this opportunity.
Also, I've been talking with the Secretary of the Organizing Committee of the Southeast Investment and Business Summit Group, Summit 2, taking place, of course, I've told you, in Enugu between November 26 and November 28, as Barrister Ujunwa Rita Ezani. Ujunwa Ezani, are you from Arodizo?
I'm from Ichida.
Ichida.
In Anocha local government. Anambra State.
Because I know the Ezanis who are all medical doctors and they're from Arodizo.
They are family of highly educated. The same thing with the Ichida group. The Ezanis are known for their.
Yes. And that's our program for this morning. Please let us see how this goes. And I know that we'll be telling you developments along the line as they move. And let's congratulate them in advance for what they are going to achieve in that summit. My name is Mwabos Njoku. Please enjoy the rest of the day and good morning.